Yeah, hi there. These comments are for J.I. and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So you're taking the TOEFL test tomorrow. Wow. You say, I've studied some good English resources but still haven't reached the level of satisfaction. My problems are the speaking and writing, mostly speaking. So what can I do to improve my skills? I will appreciate your quick response as my exam is right around the corner. It's tomorrow. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at it. So first of all, with speaking, let's talk about two different things generally. One is called delivery. The other is called language use. So with delivery, you want to try to speak as clearly as you can. That means three things. One, pacing. You're not pausing too much. You don't put too many hesitations in there. You want to speak as fluently, as naturally as you can. Number two, in addition to pacing, you want to make sure you're varying your intonation. Don't speak in one tone the whole time during your response. You're not going to get a good score. So make sure that you vary your intonation. The last thing that relates to delivery is stress. You can look at it as word stress or sentence stress. From a word stress perspective, J.I., you want to make sure that you're stressing the stress syllable of the word by making it clearer, longer, louder, and higher pitched. Now, sentence stress means that typically you're focusing on one word in the sentence that receives a little more stress than anywhere else. Typically, it's the last noun, adjective, adverb, or verb in the sentence. You should put a little bit extra stress on that sentence. So you need to do, as you're doing the independent and integrated speaking task, you want to make sure you have good delivery. Now the second thing is language use. You want to have good control of your vocabulary and your grammar. Make sure you're not just using basic vocabulary or grammar, right? And try to use natural sounding type expressions and things. And that's going to be important for you with your language use. Okay, now let's talk about topic development. So with independent speaking tasks, really one of the most important things I can tell you in this short video is make sure you answer the question. That's important, right? And don't memorize a template, right? You want it to sound as natural as you can. Even if you have a few stumbles and stutters in there, it needs to be natural. So I would not use a template that you've memorized. If you've been at a website and they gave you a template, if it's a really popular website, I definitely would not use that template, because the TOEFL IBT human raters, they'll recognize it. They'll know that you memorized it, and that's not going to help you. So just answer the questions as quickly and as naturally as you can. Make sure you answer the question. So with speaking, integrated speaking, it's important you organize your ideas, and when you have a reading and a listening passage, make sure in the beginning you have like a short introduction that states the main point of the reading and the lecture. You want to state both points, then you move to the information in the reading, then you move to the information in the lecture, right? And make sure you put things like the speaker states, or another point made by the author in the reading passage is, or finally in the listening passage. So make sure that you name your source throughout your response so we know that you are summarizing that information, right? So that's good for the reading and the listening. So for the listening speaking tasks, I think that's number 3 and number 6. Just make sure again that you have some way of organizing the beginning of your response, and make sure that you mention the listening passage in the beginning. State what the main point is. Typically, you will have 2 speakers discussing something. State the speakers by name, state what their ideas are, and then that, I think it's task number 5 and number 6. Make sure that you choose your opinion at the end when they ask you that. Then with number 6, you have that listening, speaking, academic. Usually it could be like steps in a process, but whatever it is, make sure you have a good beginning to your response that helps organize your ideas. So let me give you an example. So let's say that you listen to a lecture about glaciers, or maybe about glacier formation. So then if you were answering the question, you'd say something like this. According to the listening passage, a glacier is formed in several steps. If you say that, then you can say step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. It'd be really, really easy to organize that information. So those are some of my tips for you. I mean, obviously there's not a lot that you can do in a day that's going to make a huge difference, in your score, but hopefully you can use whatever you know and what you can remember and use that to do the best you can. That's all you can do, is use your existing English that you have to get the best possible TOEFL score that you can get. Right. Now, if you don't reach your goal, I know that you have some writing and speaking goals, it looks like. If for whatever reason you don't reach your goal, please consider using my online TOEFL course. I specialize in helping students all over the world from more than 60 countries, and I definitely can help you too. All right, so thank you for your comments.